Welcome to Real Estate Coaching Radio, starring award-winning real estate coaches and #1 international best-selling authors, Tim and Julie Harris. This is the #1 daily radio show for realtors looking for a no BS, authentic, real-time coaching experience. What's really working in today's market, how to generate more leads, make more money, and have more time for what you love in your life. And now your hosts, Tim and Julie Harris.
Welcome back, Julie Harris. So I have to start out by saying I am a little overwhelmed from the results of the announcement yesterday that we are considering opening up the Harris Certified Coach program again.
Me too.
And we received like 37 of you filled out the form and expressing you're interested in learning how to become a real estate coach. Now, I understand and appreciate your energy and enthusiasm. We're going to, I think we are going to relaunch that sometime in the next 30 to 60 days. It is something we really like doing. It is honestly, from Julie and I's perspective, a tremendous amount of work.
It is.
Because it's one of the only things, it's one of our main programs that we have to do ourselves. It's a 90-day program. At the end of the 90-day program, you will have learned how to be not just a real estate coach, but also have a real estate coaching business. And if you're interested in that, just simply go to harriscertifiedcoach.com. And I'm also going to leave a link in the show description of today's podcast below. So just as always, scroll down and you're going to be able to click over and then fill out the form. You've got to fill out the form. And so we are starting with an understanding of what Harris Certified Coach is all about. It's not going to be something for all of you because it is something we take extremely seriously, because in a lot of ways, when you have learned to become a Harris Certified Coach, you're then going to be set out into the wilds to coach people using our material. But we're also going to, again, show you how to generate real estate coaching leads. You can start your own coaching business. Some of you are at a perfect point in your careers where this would be a great, I think, addition to your income, if not a whole new career path. So if this is for you, if you're curious, just go to harriscertifiedcoach.com, or like I said, scroll down in the link below. We'll take you over to the main page. Please do read the FAQs and then fill out the form, and then that form is personally reviewed by Julie and I. So in today's show, we are going to be focused on your real estate daily success schedule. This is, I have to say, one of, it's a topic you and I talk about directly and indirectly all the time, because at the end of the day, your life is rooted in a schedule. A lot of people, myself included, hate having a schedule. You as well.
Sure. Everybody does.
Yeah. But the thing is even if you don't have a schedule, a formalized schedule, you have a schedule.
You just may not be acknowledging it.
You just may not be acknowledging it because your life is basically being run around certain, I think, milestones throughout the day. So given the fact that you have a schedule, despite the fact you don't necessarily want one, if you're a butthead like Julie and I, well, then look at the facts. Why not make a schedule that's going to be conducive to the betterment of your long-term physical, financial, spiritual, educational wants, needs, and desires? At the end of the day, guys, you can accomplish everything you want to accomplish, and this is the best part, I think, and you're about to learn more why this is true, in less than 3 hours a day, usually first thing in the morning. So, Julie, without any further delay.
That's right. So there's not 9 million things you have to do with your schedule, but there are some key things that you've got to adopt and adapt and turn into your daily minimum standards that you do as habits.
And again, I love what you just said, because really at the end of the day, if you've accomplished 3 to 5 things, and we're going to really drill down on what those probably should be, and you can adjust accordingly. If you do 3 to 5 things at a high level every single day, even if you don't get a real obvious listing contract or closing or something like that particular day, you're building positive momentum, which is going to result in really great things, maybe 30, 60, 90 days down the road.
Indeed it will. All right. So what should you have in your ideal schedule? Number 1, use and update your visual accountability whiteboards every day. You should be tracking all of the following based on your goals. These are on your wall. These are whiteboards with pens. You guys can visualize that.
Harris, those of you in Premier Coaching, there are lots of examples of Premier Coaching. And again, when you join Premier Coaching, in the first level of Premier Coaching, which you have free access to, listeners, and again, the link is in the show description, you also receive the Real Estate Treasure Map. The Real Estate Treasure Map is your fill-in-the-blank business and life plan. It is the first thing that we want all new coaching clients to complete. And a lot of this information is actually covered in the Real Estate Treasure Map. So if you want to know what Julie means by what your board should look like, it's in the Real Estate Treasure Map. Join Premier Coaching. And actually, I relabeled it in the first level. It actually says Business Planning Real Estate Treasure Map.
There you go. So it's easy to find, no excuses. And by the way, all my elite, my one-on-one coaching clients, and I think yours as well, they will text us pictures of their whiteboards, their visual accountability prior to a coaching call. And that's some additional accountability, isn't it?
When our private members page on Facebook, they will
They'll put it there
oftentimes,
too.
yeah. Well, it's because if your real estate magic number, and we're talking Harris coaching speak now, but bear with us. If your real estate magic number is 10, you need 10 listings at all times.
Yep.
And you've been able to hit the number 10 for the first time in your career.
You're proud of that.
Hell yeah, you are.
You're posting it everywhere.
Exactly.
Yes, and you're getting a lot of love and support from the Harris certified coaches and your colleagues that are working on the same things as you. So what do you track with your visual accountability whiteboards? Leads, active listings, buyers, pending closings, and closed transactions. So for example, if your business plan, your real estate treasure map calls for you to do 22 transactions this year, on your closed transaction board, you're going to have 1 through 22 and you're going to fill them in. They travel through your boards. Everything starts as a lead. Then it's either a buyer or an active listing. Then it becomes a pending and then it lands on your closed transaction board. You literally can visually see, are you on track, ahead, or behind?
Think about this from an emotional perspective, right? Finances are a lot of, they're intertwined with emotions. If your goal is to earn, I'll just pick a very simple number. All of you should be able to, wrap your arms around this, $100,000. And let's say your average commission is $10,000. Right? This should be obvious that you have to sell 10 houses. Well, for you to sell 10 houses, how many leads do you need? That's the whole process. How many contacts are you going to be needing to make per day? I'll give you the answer, 10. So if you make 10 contacts per day, if you have 10 listings at all times, you will get it and sell at least 10 listings or 10 houses per year. Probably it'll be split between buyers and sellers. And that is the very least amount of transactions and money you guys should be making in this market or any market, frankly.
It does work like clockwork like that.
It does.
I mean, that's the point of the treasure map, is to show you that. Okay, then number 2, what are we doing on your daily schedule? Look at your finances every day. Yes, look at your finances every day. Use Mint.com as your dashboard of key performance indicators, or KPIs. Your savings, your checking, your credit cards, investment accounts, investment properties, and everything else financial are visible using Mint.com. This includes your credit scores as well as your upcoming bills and your actual budget. And Mint.com is not an official sponsor. It sounds like a Mint commercial, but that's because we like them so much and we use them personally. It's actually really easy to set up. It's Mint.com, M-I-N-T.
Well, we did this yesterday. We always have run all of our business expenses and our personal expenses through an American Express card for a whole bunch of reasons. But Julie found yesterday, she sent me a summary of there was 11 charges on our Amex for our business card that she didn't recognize. And sure enough, there were some just rando charges that just popped up that were from things we canceled over a year ago. And those merchants were hoping that we were, asleep at the wheel and wouldn't, contest the charge, which we did. So you're going to have to pay attention to all of that stuff and really be watching out for it. Unfortunately, that happens. Sometimes it's a clerical error on their end, but nonetheless, make sure you're paying attention to your money. The other thing that happens is a lot of people have a direct, negative visceral reaction when they're thinking about money. I mean, even frankly, Julie's voice goes up when she talks about money. So if we start talking about money, you guys will hear it in her voice. It's kind of funny. It's a subconscious thing that gives her a little bit of anxiety. And I completely understand most people feel that way. But if you increase the frequency of checking in on your money, so it's not like every time you log into your checking account,
It's a mystery.
It's like seeing a ghost,
Yeah.
If you're going there frequently and you're familiarizing yourself with the patterns of how your finances work, you become more comfortable with it, then it's not obviously going to have that same emotional reaction because you will have jumped in the deep end. These money things, guys, are very easy to move past. Once you start facing it, here's the next thing that will happen in this phase of learning is you're going to be really you're going to start questioning your sanity of paying referral fees. You're going to really start holding accountable the things like, marketing and branding. Okay, well, exactly how is this going to benefit me? How much money am I going to make? You're going to start becoming a better business person and you're going to start producing more net income. So Julie, let's just move on to point number 3.
Point number 3, make contact daily. Contact is a conversation with a decision-making adult about real estate with at least the same number of people as transactions you must do this year. That was the point you just made. If you've got to do 20 deals this year to meet or exceed your goals, you've got to make 20 contacts daily in order for that to happen. And adjust as your skills increase. You can change that ratio downward as your skills get better, but focus on people who are most likely to sell.
You know what's amazing, Julie, is most of these guys listening have a sale price that's so like, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000.
Yep.
And most
so
of them
blessed.
are way happy if they're making $100,000 to $150,000 a year. That's just
Yeah,
the masses of
that's
agents.
true.
I'm sure this is 99% of you. Of course, we have a lot of elite coaching clients that if they're not earning at least $1 million per year, then that's your minimum standard. But for the most of you, $100,000 to $200,000 a year, you're having a nice quality of life.
And we know that
right?
from the NAR report as well.
Oh, exactly. Well, guess what? It's very easy to accomplish that when your average sale price in most of the country right now is $400,000. And
It is.
by the way, in the last 12 months, the average sale price, the average value of a home went up by at least 6%. So look how smart you are. You got into a business where your average commission is going to increase with inflation. Most people make less money during times of inflation, but because you're selling something that's inflating, right? You're getting a raise. Congratulations. Go you.
It's baked in. All right. So focus on people who are most likely to sell if you want your ratios to be really good. A ratio is the number of contacts versus appointments set versus deals done. So an example would be, of course, your existing listing leads that you just need to close on, expireds for sale by owners, probate, relocation, past clients, and referrals. Just listed and just sold calls don't really count unless they are directly around your own listings. Now, another interesting thing from that NAR report, I would add to this list, of course, past clients and centers of influence. But as you survive more and more years and do more transactions in real estate,
I like how you said that, survive more years.
well, keeping it real, then the percentage of your business you get from repeat and referral, because you now have more repeat and referral and you have a bigger database and you get better at working it, goes up exponentially.
I'm
was
not
very telling.
I'm not going to say I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was pleased is what I was. Because if you look at, it's what Julie just said, and we're going to be sharing all these numbers with you guys on an upcoming podcast. She's writing it now. But the longer, it's after 24 months, basically. It was right, I think.
And then there was another jump that was like right around 6 or 7 years in the business.
And we experienced this too with thousands of coaching clients, but even when we sold real estate, that you will start, you will start getting more and more of your business. And by the time you've been in the business, I think it's by 10 years, you're getting like 70, 80% of your business from centers of influence and past clients.
Yes, but you have to make it that long for you to get that ratio. So meanwhile, you better be calling expireds and things of that nature so that you can build that up and learning how to work open houses and all that stuff.
But it's worth mentioning, you shouldn't stop being a proactive lead generator, even as more of your business, frankly, becomes very easy to get because it's centers of influence and past client base. You should always be a proactive lead generator, never stop.
Agreed.
Why? Here's the big reason why. You cannot, if you're centers of influence and past client, I'm talking to you, Betty. I'm talking to you, Lorraine. I'm talking to you, Nancy. Okay. So if you're getting because the average agent is a 60-year-old white lady and who's been in the business for, I think, it was a long time, 14 years or something.
Yeah, it was close to 20, yeah.
Right. And so she's getting most of her business from centers of influence and past clients.
Yes.
But here's the fallacy. That it is business, you're correct, but you cannot control it. You cannot decide when you're going to get business from those sources of business.
Or who it's going to be, or how sellable it is, or when it's going to happen.
You can't wake up today and say, I'm going to take a listing today. That is where a lot of the anxiety in life, in real estate in particular, comes from. If you build the skills of being a proactive lead generator, every single day you can wake up and you can decide you're going to set a listing appointment. You can't do that if you're marketing, branding, advertising, center of influence, past client based. You can only do it if you're a proactive lead generator. Where the power comes from, where the confidence comes from, where the strength and the consistent cash flow and the ability to save lots of money and become rich, where your money works for you and you no longer work for your money. Where all that comes from is learning how to be a proactive lead generator.
That's where all the control is.
That's right.
Okay, number 4, furiously fast lead follow-up on 100% of your leads, 100% of the time, with no exceptions or excuses or elaborate rules. We have done lots of podcasts about how to be really great at furiously fast lead follow-up.
Hold on, Julie. They texted me, so I can only text them.
I know.
Julie,
I know they emailed you. You can only email. Don't even dare call them.
That's right. They messaged me through Facebook, so I can only message them back. I can't actually call them, even though I have their
Here's
phone
my
number.
favorite. And I don't know who is going around saying this. I would put big air quotes around coach, trainer, office manager, presenter, whatever. There's somebody, I've heard about this like 3 or 4 times from different coaches and coaching clients, that is saying, you never want to call somebody back until it's been 3 days.
Oh, I know.
Because you'll sound too desperate.
Ugh.
Well, meanwhile, they went and bought a house, right?
Yeah.
Or sold a house.
So let's really drill down, right? You have to do furiously fast lead follow-up. This is, again, another copywritten thing from Julie and I. But furiously fast lead follow-up means exactly that. You got to call them back, or don't let it go to voicemail. Answer the call right away.
Yep.
But if you got the lead digitally, you call them back right away. Call them back is going to make the big impression. Sometimes you call them back and they'll still want you to text them or whatever, and that's fine. But the phone call, voice-to-voice communication is what's going to have it's going to increase your likelihood of you asking all the questions that's going to pre-qualify them, but them also bonding with you. If someone's emailing you, if someone's messaging you through some platform, someone's SMSing you, you are disposable. You are fungible. You are done if they just decide to, whatever. If you're talking to them and you've connected with them, if they've answered some of your pre-qualification questions, you now have a lead that could and will most likely result in a transaction. Don't be lazy.
Don't be lazy. That should be the point of the whole show. Okay. Point number 5, again, daily minimum standards. Show gratitude overtly to those you care about. Start your day out right, saying I love you and giving hugs and kisses. That's easy for everyone to do, isn't it?
You didn't do that today.
Yes, I did.
Not for me.
Yeah, well, you were still doing something when I was taking the kid to school.
All right, it's not too late.
I love you. Hugs and kisses.
Yeah,
See, now
okay.
we have witnesses. Okay.
Wow, that was a lot of resistance.
And coffee, and you make sure that Zoe hears that.
Well,
and
but
your
it's
mom,
important.
It is important.
The showing of gratitude towards, especially your family members, will make up for the fact that you probably are not as attentive as you'd like to be because you're building your real estate business, which also is something
True.
else we caution you guys to make sure you're doing this. Assuming you have a family or you have a spouse or even your fish, you're going to want to have them be part of your business plan. Don't be one of these blockhead agents that says, I'm going to become the world's biggest agent, so the rest of you guys be damned. You guys being family, friends, and loved ones.
That won't go well.
Let your family, especially your kids, let them know what you're doing. And one of the fun things to do is create like a goal, a family goal. And have it so that you all get to go on every week where mom or dad takes a listing or whatever. Every Friday you have pizza, or you go to a movie, or you go on some vacation everyone wants to go on, those types of things. And have it be so there's visual accountability. There's no better accountability, and I can attest to this for sure, than having a kid who wants to go, for example, to Disney World or something like that. So you maybe set the goal that once you have 20 closings, you're going to go to Disney World. And every time you have a closing, you write it on your visual accountability, right? You're going to put a whole bunch of 8.5 by 11s taped together. You're going to number it 1 through 20 like a tower. And every time you sell a house, you put the address by it. The kid's going to see as you're climbing your way to the top.
They can even color it in.
Exactly.
Involve your family. Show gratitude.
It's funny. Ziggy, one of our coaches, she does this, and she sent us pictures before. But we've said this a million times. We came up with this concept years ago. And the ones that do it are swear by it, say it truly, truly does work. But all the others that are listening to us say it that don't want to do it, it's because they don't want to be held accountable.
Because they know how well it works.
Oh yeah, because there's no better. Kids are the best because they will be dispassionate about the fact that you slacked off and they can't go do that fun thing.
100%. Okay. Point number 6, set a new pre-qualified appointment before noon every workday, ideally with sellers. Now, that's a daily minimum standard. You're probably not going to do it every single day, but it is the mindset that it is your job to set new pre-qualified appointments every day before noon. What would it do to your business if you did that 3 out of 5 days a week, 4 out of 5 days a week? It's going to be fantastic for your momentum. All right.
But Julie, that's something that is mystical to many people.
Yes.
Because they make it too damn hard.
They do. They have this whole Swiss Army knife of scheduling things.
Right.
And here's the other thing they do. They have to really, really research anybody before they pick up the phone. And then by the time they've done, 30 minutes of research, they convince themselves not to make the call.
Guys, it's just a script. It's just taking a seller through. A script is nothing other than a conversation outline, which leads to the result of you ascertaining what the level of motivation that person has. It is very, very easy for you to follow our system. It does not take a high-level sales skills, really any previous sales skills. A lot of the people that have come to real estate, let alone our coaching programs, they were retired military people. They are former airline pilots, people that have zero background selling anything to anybody, and they become very successful because it is a turnkey system. Follow it. Don't try to create your own. Just trust what's in front of you.
Point number 7, contact by phone or door knock one unrepresented seller, otherwise known as a for sale by owner, per day with your pre-listing package, ideally. You do that once per day and you keep good track of your follow-up, you're going to be taking regular for sale by owner listings.
Now, these are just some suggestions. You do not have to be doing all these things every single day. Like, we'll go, Julie, let's summarize what we feel probably are the most important 5 things
Sure.
at the end. So go ahead through your points.
We'll do this quickly. Okay,
Yep.
Point number 8, contact at least one expired seller listing per day with your pre-listing package. We talked about expireds all day on yesterday's podcast. Number 9, speak with all pending clients with transaction updates. Don't be out of sight, out of mind. If you have a transaction coordinator, teach them to say, Tim asked me to call, but still at least make one contact per pending per week. They don't like it when they don't hear from you. Point number 10, spend at least...
And by the way, the contact is not digital. It is a phone call.
Yes, they want to know what's happening. All right. You want more repeat and referral, you've got to communicate better.
100%.
Let's see. Point number 10, spend at least 1 hour working out, going on a walk, or taking a class at a fitness center. Group exercise is better for your business. It expands your center of influence. So though that might look like just a fitness goal or a fitness thing in your schedule, it's also secretly getting you to prospect. And then number 11, meet 3 new people on purpose and talk about real estate. Use meetup.com to find new organizations and meetings to join. Focus on 3 different areas. Number 1, hobbies and interests. That's stuff you like to do anyway. Number 2 is business networking. And number 3 is charitable organizations.
So let's talk about what would be your ideal 3 to 5 things. And then we can backfill it with the idea of making it around a schedule.
What's most important?
Right. Number 1, and again, a lot of these should be on everyone's list, but you can adjust accordingly. Number 1 is going to be showing overt appreciation for your family members. Julie, I love you.
I love you too.
Okay. And
All of you can do that, by the way.
yeah, but you guys can say you love Tim and Julie too.
Send us a text.
Yeah, we'll accept that.
We love you too.
Yes, exactly. But yes, do that. Show overt appreciation for your family members every single day. It is you giving, and they will appreciate it, and you'll feel good for having done it. Okay,
It's a great start to the day.
That's right. Number 2, a lot of times we'll suggest you guys pray or meditate depending on what your inclination is, right? That's something a lot of you should be doing. You do, but do it formally. Make it so it's something you do formally every day. You're going to want to do some form of exercise, even if it's just a 15-minute vigorous walk, though Julie's idea of group exercise is always going to be a winner. You want to take some kind of supplements every single day. You do your own homework on this. We're not medical care, physicians, whatnot. But do take that seriously, because really I think the jury is in. The reality of it is long-term supplementation of vitamins and whatnot does have a positive outlook. That reminds me, you and I have gone through a lot of health stuff this year, preventative stuff. Why don't we man up and do a podcast?
We can. They have to think out of the box a little bit.
I know.
It's a little bit, it's related to real estate. We want you to be healthy so you can kick butt in real estate. Every time we stray slightly off topic, there's somebody at the computer, like the cat's typing away, furiously fast typing. Why are you talking about something other than real estate? So we're warning you this time.
Yeah, but we should.
I agree.
Right.
I mean, because it does matter.
Those people that are trigger fingered, to basically want us to stay so tightly into real estate aren't really long-term listeners anyway.
Probably.
We need to take care of long-term listeners, because you and I have discovered a lot of things as far as very innovative health stuff in particular that we should be sharing with them.
That's right. Yes, we'll do it.
All right. So next, you should be setting, again, these are things that you write your own 3 to 5 things down. You should be setting first of all, call all your leads back at the end of every single day. Never leave a lead pre-qualified and ideally appointment set every single day. Don't procrastinate, put somebody off to the following day. Another thing, as you're making your 3 to 5 things, and this is for those of you who are truly serious, set 1 pre-qualified listing appointment per day, and or have absolutely positively make the number of proactive lead generation contacts that you have to, that is commensurate with your real estate magic number.
Yes, absolutely. That and furiously fast lead follow-up, I believe, are the 2 pillars. And of course, showing gratitude, getting your mindset straightened out first thing in the morning. These are the pillars of your schedule, because if you're sitting on leads, you really have no business saying, I need to be better at lead generation. No, you need to be better at lead follow-up. That's important. And then if you don't have enough leads to follow up on, then we go to the lead generation is the problem. So if you can get both of those 2 things working in tandem, pretty much the rest of your business is going to start to take care of itself. You'll have to talk to your pending clients, because you'll have pending clients.
Well, here's the thing. Most of you, like we said, can have a fantastic year with 10 to 20 closings. Do you realize this is it's just, I say this and I think to all the coaching clients I had that did exactly this. Mm-hmm. They would hire, this is back when Julie and I were doing production coaching. We used to do 12 to 14 one-on-one coaching calls a day. Not saying that to brag. I'm saying that to frankly
send flowers.
Send flowers. We're still getting past that. But we had numerous coaching clients that would come to us that would say specifically they would hire us to only coach them for 6 months.
Yep. And
then they wanted to take the second 6 months off.
Yes.
And we had lots of people that did that. We had professional athletes that would do that. We had people that were, I remember one guy in particular that was a travel blogger.
Yep.
Blogger actually, and he would want to earn enough money that basically he wouldn't have to worry about money for the rest of the year. He'd do it every year. His sale price was like $800,000.
It can be done.
He wanted to earn like $200 to $300,000 a year. He'd bank the money, pay the taxes, live off the rest, and just travel the world. And that's what his vision, his goal was. I had somebody else. I remember Howard out in Hawaii. He's still in real estate. But this is what Howard did, and I always loved his calls. He would earn the amount of money he had to, and then he had, I believe they were shepherds. He would show these absolutely gorgeous dogs globally. He would fly from one show to the other.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, isn't it? And so though you can make your life around it. Some of you take the entire year in countless hours per week to do what could be accomplished in 60 to 90 days. It's when you realize, guys, how much you can condense in on just a morning. When you realize, essentially taking this overview of what we gave you on today's podcast, and that's all it really was an overview. Coaching comes next when you join Premier Coaching. Then you start seeing the accumulation effect of doing these things every single morning. You start seeing the benefits. You start seeing more consistent cash flow. Then the next light that's going to go off in your mind is, why the hell am I working, 5 days of the week, let alone 7?
Yeah, because there is no rule. If you look at your real estate license, it does not say you are required to work 40 to 60 hours a week like a slave in order for you to make decent money. It does not say that.
Well, if you're a listing agent, you definitely don't have to have that lifestyle.
For sure.
Yeah.
You do have to have focus. You do have to do the key things that cause transactions to happen. You can't just be wandering around the real estate wilds waiting for a lead to hit you in the head that might be really stellar.
You guys should take the word waiting, draw a circle around it, and draw a line through it. Waiting equals lazy. That's what you should, hopefully have that connection in your mind. If you were to really focus in, listener, and you really drill down on mastering your morning schedule, doing your 3 to 5 things every single day, if you were to do that for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 6 months in a row, everything in your life would be different. Everything
100%.
would be 100% better. Exactly.
It doesn't take you a decade of doing it to see results.
Yeah, it doesn't take you a lifetime to
But
see
some
results.
of you take a decade to get results because you drag it out.
Or you're going to do a bunch of Facebook polls, or you're going to ask a bunch of advice, or you're going to buy a bunch of leads, or you're going to fill out a bunch of forms.
And wait.
No
bueno. Okay.
So
guys, you guys get the point.
Thank you for keeping this number one listen to daily podcast for real estate professionals in at least the United States. There's literally thousands of past shows that you can go and listen to. iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, every place you can possibly imagine. Please do us a favor and give us a 5-star review over on iTunes. And yes, if you're interested in becoming a Harris Certified Coach, please go to harriscertifiedcoach.com and fill out the form that's on the website, and let's get the conversation started. In the meantime, have a fantastic day. We'll talk with you on the show tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.